Today we're going to be installing and reviewing the AMP Research BedStep. I'm looking to do this because I recently installed a gooseneck hitch in the truck, and getting in and out of the truck to hook up the trailer is pretty much a pain in the ass. You can see that the tailgate is about waist high. It makes it very difficult to get down and out of the truck. And I also have airbags in here, so that makes it even higher. We'll be installing this today on a 2011 F350, but this covers 1999 through 2016 on the Ford Super Duties. So let's start the install. So here's what we get with our kit here. Obviously you've got your instructions. This is going to be your brace that mounts right to the frame of the truck. And the reason why I went with this step, it was a little more expensive, but this is a no drill application, which I prefer. So you've got your brace that goes on the frame of the truck. You've got the up and down arm for the step. Got your hardware kit. And you've got your actual step. So step one is we're going to be attaching the frame brace to the step arm. And you see you've got 2 holes here. And you've got 4 holes here. What we're looking to do is we're going to take these back 2 closest to the frame on the truck, and we'll insert them into these holes here. So you're going to use the long bolts that are in your hardware kit, along with the washers. So you use the washers in these longer bolts here. So we'll get these started finger tight. And then the instructions call for these to be tightened down to 33 foot-pounds. I don't have a torque wrench, so I'm just going to use the German method of fastening, is just get them good and tight. And this is going to be a 17 millimeter socket that I'm going to be using here. So we'll tighten these down. All right, so that's how that is going to look on there. Next up, we're going to get underneath the driver's side rear of the truck, and you'll see these 2 bolts right here. That's where the frame is going to bolt to the frame of the truck. So we need to remove these 2 nuts, and they're going to be 21 millimeter. We'll crank those off. Now that we've got those nuts off there, we're going to take our step assembly and we'll slide it up here. Not a lot of room for error. I've got about a 1/4 inch gap here. But we'll take our nuts and we'll put those back on. And once you get the nuts on there, a little word of advice here. I was using a 21 millimeter impact socket. The walls are going to be too thick. I had to switch to a thinner 21 millimeter socket to be able to get inside that brace. But once you get the nuts on, you want to go ahead and tighten those up. The manual calls for 80 foot-pounds of torque, but again, I don't have a torque wrench, so we're going to just get them tight. Once you've got the bracket mounted to the truck, one of the last things we have to do is take these washers, and we've got to insert them in the back of the actual step. Now the manual shows you should put these in the 2nd, 3rd, and 5th slots on here. So we're going to do that because that should line up perfectly with the step bracket. So 2nd, 3rd, and last. And then you use the 3 remaining Allen screws here. Now I don't know where my driver set is, so we're going to use the old-fashioned Allen wrench. It's going to be a 3/16. Now you want to extend the bracket down. That's how that moves. Pull it down. You're going to take your step, and we'll line up holes here. Give her a push down. And then we'll take our Allen wrench. And we'll get these started by hand. And these only go to 6 foot-pounds, so the manual says you don't want to over tighten, otherwise it'll cause damage to the step. So we'll just snug them up. So this is how it looks after it gets installed. Simply just put a little down pressure on it, pops right out. Step up on it. It's rated to hold 300 pounds, and again, my big issue is trying to get in to deal with the gooseneck hitch. So simple step up, step in. Step out. Not too bad. Seems like it's a little tight to the bumper on this side, so I'm going to try to move that step out and see if that makes a difference. So I took the 3 screws out of the bottom of the step, and I moved the step over to the side as far as it would go, and I put the screws back in. I just had to adjust the little nuts, washers that go in there, but I believe it gives me a little bit more area to get my boot in, push down. It takes very little effort to get that down, but also believes it gives a little bit better clearance when getting in and out of the back of the truck. So stepping up and right in, and a lot easier to get out. So I'm pretty satisfied with that. I think that's going to make life a lot easier for getting in and out of the back of the truck for the gooseneck hitch, hooking up the trailer. And again, a little pressure up, and it tucks right up underneath the bumper.